to check in on the latest buzz in the entertainment world.
Liz and Mike from 105 on The Buzz joining us live. Good morning. Happy post-Grammys Monday.
Good morning, and I am tired. I stayed up entirely too late for that whole ceremony.
Yep, same.
Emily did the same, yeah.
It was worth it, though. I thought, overall, it was a really good show.
Oh my gosh, I was there for it. The vibes were on point. It was a lot of women supporting women because you had Adele, Beyonce, Lizzo, Taylor Swift, all of them were in the audience, which that makes for, that's some stiff competition to try to go up against. And it was like every single time someone won, they all were just cheering really big. It didn't look like anyone was upset with anyone. And it was just a really good night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. That's good.
I think one of the cool things about this year's Grammy Awards, we've seen it in recent years where someone will have a night where every other award they're getting called up, right? Like we've seen this before with like Adele, Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo having just huge sweeps of the Grammys. We didn't see that this time. Harry Styles won a couple, Lizzo won, Beyonce obviously making history, Bonnie Raitt with Best Song. It seemed kind of spread out this year, which I think made it fun to watch as an award show.
That and their acceptance speeches were so good. I loved when Lizzo got up there. She accepted for Record of the Year for About Dang Time. And she let us know that one, she was dedicating it to Prince and positivity in music and making a difference. But also that in 5th grade, she skipped school to go to a Beyonce concert.
Oh my God.
I love the rebel in her. And two, you could see that like Beyonce was like, thank you for the mention. And then it also was like, she was doing math in her head. Like, did you just age me?
Yeah, right. That happens. It happens.
And then Bonnie Raitt, she was just as surprised as the rest of us when she won, if not more. She just sat at her table looking shocked. Like, what's that mean? And then as she was walking up to the stage, she still was looking back like, do I go up here now? Is that what happens? Like, it was just evenly spread out. Beyonce won. She's now the most winningest Grammy winner of all time with 37 Grammys. The awkward part, though, is the first one of the evening, she wasn't there to accept, and they said she got stuck in traffic, but the conspiracy theories are going crazy because Jay-Z was already there. Did they ride separate? Did she step away from the table?
Oh, geez.
Traffic? There's so much.
It's happening. It's happening.
I don't know. I think she's Beyonce. She could do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So the Beehive swarmed a bit at the end of the show. We were just talking about this with our friends from Entertainment Tonight. Obviously, Harry Styles won. He bookended the night there, winning Best Pop Album and then also Best Album of the Year. What do we think about Harry's House being the big winner?
All right, I'll take this one. Sure.
Not everybody at once.
After his performance last night, I can understand kind of why he was heckled. I love Harry Styles. I'm the first one that's going to throw my underwear on stage for him. But at the end of the day, probably the weakest performance of the night, if I'm going to be totally honest.
But he's been touring for like a million years in a row.
He seemed tired.
Yeah, he was definitely just tired. I do like the fact that he did win Album of the Year. I can certainly appreciate that. But the Beehive, Beyonce is the most Grammy-winning artist of all time. The 4 big awards, Song of the Year, Record of the Year, Album of the Year, and Best New Artist. She's only won one of those once for Single Ladies.
Right.
Now, one of the things we couldn't see sitting at home is apparently he did start to get heckled a little bit when he won. And they're allegedly saying that's why Taylor Swift stood up in the audience when he was accepting. And then there's these videos on Twitter of people that were in the audience showing as Harry's still speaking, people just leaving in a giant group. But honestly, it's probably because traffic was going to be so bad. And if you're waiting for Beyonce, they're not going to let you out in front of them. Those limos are all going first. So I bet you, if anything, the people that were leaving like in huge groups because they were like, not getting stuck in that traffic.
I feel like that room is just an interesting social experiment. It just is wild.
It's so interesting. Everywhere the camera pans, you're like, oh, is that? Oh my gosh, like all these celebs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was almost highlighted by Trevor Noah, like walking through the audience the whole night, catching celebrities off guard.
Yeah, that was kind of entertaining too. Mike, I know your favorite moment of the night has to have been the salute to 50 years of hip hop. What a performance.
It was absolutely amazing. I got to give a lot of love out to Questlove from The Roots, who curated the whole thing, had everybody up there from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five all the way up to Nelly, and Little Baby was in there. Missy Elliott, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominee. They even got Salt and Pepper back together with Spinderella. Like, some crazy stuff happened. But Busta Rhymes, one of the greatest living hip hop performers of all time. Just shut everything down.
He pulled it off live. He is so good. I mean, I think I had a smile on my face for the entire performance. I mean, I think my jaw dropped when Busta was just like in his
Just
zone.
doing his thing.
But it was so cool to see over the decades. And honestly, like all of these performers, they just seemed like they were having so much fun to celebrate where hip hop started, where it is now. They look pretty good too. A lot of our guys from the 70s and 80s, like they're up there still putting on a great show.
That's cool. And Emily did tell me, because I didn't stay up to watch the whole thing. I can go hand up on that. And Emily's like, if you watch one thing, watch the tribute to 50 years of hip hop.
It was great too, because hip hop's had a tainted legacy with the Grammys. You know, when hip hop really started to establish itself as a genre of music independently of itself, there was a lot of pushback from the Grammy circles. We didn't want to acknowledge it, so on and so forth. Jay-Z boycotted the Grammys for a number of years because of that. So it's good to see that they're finally accepting it as one of the major genres of music.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It was a fun performance. Hey, we gotta run, but real quick, Lizzo finally confirmed that she is booed up. She even thanked her man during her Grammys acceptance speech last night. What do we know about this guy?
Yeah, she met Mr. Right because his name is Mike Wright. So they've been together for a hot second now, and she never posts his face. And then finally, she decided, you know what? I'm gonna make this official. She posted it across all social media. She said that he keeps her down, holds her down, and they're adorable. I'm here for it. I love it.
It was fun to see her thank her man on stage. She seemed really happy. I just spent the whole evening being so happy for all these performances. It just seemed like a great night.
And all the dresses were so big and floofy. I was living for that.
I know. I loved it. I wish we had time to talk fashion. We're going to have to save that for another day. Thank you, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, friends.
Bye.
Don't forget, you can get more Grammys fun. Listen to Liz and Mike every weekday morning on 105.1 The Buzz.